So Trae Young just posted on social media, Atlanta 7 years down and the last time I won't be in the postseason. Oh, that's a nice post. Wait, what does he mean last time I won't be in the postseason? Doesn't he mean we won't be in the postseason like the Hawks? So people are asking, wait, is this a goodbye post? Well, let me tell you, when you combine this with something else that just happened with Trae recently, the answer is obvious. Even die-hard Hawks fans cannot deny this. But 3 days after losing the play-in to Miami, the Hawks fired GM Landry Fields. Kind of weird because he did a decent job turning the team around. Odds said that they would win about 36 games this year, but they won 40 for the 8th seed. The first thing he did was try to salvage that awful DeJounte Murray trade. He got back Dyson Daniels and 2 first-round picks. And Dyson might be more valuable than DeJounte at this point. Plus, he got 2 picks. That's amazing. Daniels is now one of the best wing defenders in the NBA with more steals per game than anybody in 34 years. Fields then picked Zachary Rizachet, who is second in total rookie points. Since January 30th, dropped 15 a game on 41% from deep. Jalen Johnson dominating before his injury. A good young core, but one problem looms over the entire franchise. Under the old front office, a decision was made to trade their entire future for DeJounte Murray. It was such a disaster, but the way it happened is even worse because it turns out the GM at the time, Travis Schlenk, was firmly against the move. He thought DeJounte is fine, but 4 first-round picks? Then the owner's son, 27-year-old Nick Ressler, stepped in to force the deal. Can you imagine working your entire life to earn a GM role and some kid overrules you? That was the beginning of the end for Travis Schlenk. He stepped down in December 2022, and they gave the job to 34-year-old Landry Fields. Put in charge of a losing team after a terrible trade, this dude was set up to fail. But where does Trae Young fit into this? But I just got the numbers for MyFitFoods and you guys are loving it. That makes me really happy because I am loving it too. All I eat are MyFitFoods meals all day, every day, plus a bowl of oatmeal in the morning, and it's allowed me to achieve all my fitness goals while being affordable and extremely tasty. They're always mixing in new meals every single month, and it's so convenient. Like, one of the biggest wastes of time in my life recently has been like on Sundays trying to meal prep the entire day for the week, and it doesn't even taste that good. But MyFitFoods takes care of all of that, and if you use my promo code AMHOOPS30, you get 30% off your meals. They have stores you can walk in Houston or Portland or Denver, plus new stores coming in Dallas and Austin. So please check out MyFitFoods like a lot of you guys have been doing. Use my promo code AMHOOPS30 for 30% off. Well, Trae has been through 3 separate rebuilds already in Atlanta. His first 2 years, they failed to make the playoffs, but then bam! Popped to the 5 seed in the Eastern Conference Finals. And in that run, Trae put on a show, especially against the Knicks. He was so good, they still chant F Trae Young randomly in New York City. Trae Young! Trae Young! That was a concert. So Trae had fun in the playoffs, but hadn't been past the first round since. Back-to-back first round exits, then missed the playoffs 2 straight seasons. They are going backwards. So what did Trae say after they lost this year? Nobody looks at us as a title contender, and people know how much I care about winning. It's not easy for me. So hopefully next year we can focus on winning. Except, have you seen your teammates, Trae? I mean, they're good, but they are years away from winning. I mean, these young guys can't compete with like the Knicks and the Cavs and the Celtics in the East. So now there is a decision to make. Trae can be a free agent next off season, which means they can offer him a contract extension right now. It'll be 4 years for $229 million or 5 years, $345 if he makes All-NBA, which he won't. But are the Hawks even gonna offer him a max contract? Are we sure? I mean, this is a notoriously cheap team. What if they don't offer him the max? I mean, what if Trae knows that he needs to leave? Like, he says winning is his #1 priority, so how could he not leave? But if the Hawks get even an inkling that he's about to go, they are forced to trade him before the deadline. They cannot afford for Trae to walk for nothing. This is a turning point in Trae's career. All the Hawks moves say they're not ready to win. Think about it. They trade DeJounte for young guys. They get the #1 pick, but they don't trade it. They deal DeAndre Hunter. All of Atlanta's actions are telling Trae, if you want to come along for this next rebuild, you totally can, but we're not planning on winning anytime soon, buddy. And all of Trae's actions say he wants to win. So I can't believe anybody could look at all this and say, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. It's obvious he's going to leave. Now, I do have to mention that Chris Haynes reported he has not heard from Trae's camp that he wants to leave. They did a podcast together and nothing was said. But what is Trae supposed to do? Just like casually drop that he wants to leave the Hawks on a podcast? No, his and the Hawks' actions speak way louder than words on this one. So what is next? So Trae can either sign that extension this offseason and demand a trade, or he can walk in free agency to a team with cap space. Now, demanding a trade is risky because you do not know where you're going to go. I mean, just look at Damian Lillard, right? Like, dude demanded to be on the Heat, but Portland was like, no, the Bucks have the best offer. So free agency would look like this for Trae. Almost half the league has cap space for him. Now, some of this is unrealistic because some of these teams are going to re-sign their own free agents, but Trae does have a lot to choose from if he waits. He could target the Clippers with James Harden getting old, or the Rockets with all their defense and depth. But where does he actually fit? Well, this year, we saw a change in Trae's game. With all the young guys on the team, he facilitated the ball a lot more. Trae led the NBA in assists at 11.6 a game. Plus, his 200 total assists in the fourth quarter, the most since John Stockton in 1997. But shot a career low 53% at the rim, his second lowest effective field goal percentage since he was a rookie. And he led the NBA in turnovers at 355. So Trae is good, but his limitations are disastrous. The Hawks are middle of the road on defense when Trae is on the bench, but near dead last with him on the court. I mean, just look at this possession in the final game of the year. Guys normally play as hard as they can with the season on the line, but not only does Trae just lazily let Davion Mitchell get his own rebound from the three-point line, but give up an open three. What are we doing? So first of all, that is the reason if he doesn't get a max contract. And second of all, Trae needs to go somewhere with a very specific roster to handle his issues. First, they need a ton of 3-and-D wings. Then they need a star rim protector who can cover for Trae and finish the lobs that he creates. Plus, they need a second scorer who doesn't need the ball to dominate, which is why DeJounte Murray never worked. So what team is that? Well, the Spurs are an obvious fit, but they chose De'Aaron Fox over Trae. Also, you can cross off the Orlando Magic. A lot of people are going to mention them. They need a point guard, but they don't want to take the ball out of the hands of Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner. Also, take Houston off the board. They like running their offense through Alper and Şengün with the occasional touches from Amin Thompson and role players. So I hate to say it, is it the Kings? I mean, Domantas Sabonis just said it. They need a point guard. And at least Trae would finally get to play next to two All-Stars, Sabonis and Zach LaVine. Maybe it's a desperate team that flames out early in the playoffs. What about the Denver Nuggets? You don't want to take the ball out of Joker's hands, but they are already in panic mode after firing their coach and GM. But ESPN's Tim McMahon kind of summed it up. A simple fact of the matter is, if there was a real market for Trae Young, he'd be somewhere else right now. It's pretty sad. I think Trae is going to leave Atlanta because he wants to win, but I just don't think any winning teams really want him on their roster. But at least Trae is no longer the most overrated player in the NBA. That distinction is now reserved for Tyrese Halliburton. Look, I didn't say it. Other NBA players did. The anonymous player survey just came out. So why do other players disrespect Halliburton so much?